Hello, welcome back. I mean, for me, it's much sooner because I'm recording this right after recording my last one because, I'm wearing the same fashionable tie-dye shirt. Okay, all right, and that's enough with that. Welcome back to JankTech. It's my series on Star Wars Unlimited with a focus on twin suns, cool card combos, nothing sweaty, nothing meta. We're not talking about PQs here. We're not talking about banned cards, suspended cards. No, we're just talking about having fun, hanging out, having a good time, liking and subscribing. Pretty please. Y'all have been liking and subscribing. I've been so grateful. We've got so many people subscribed to this. Thank you so much. I love the feedback I've been getting. I'm going to continue making these. And before we get it started, I just want to point out we have a Discord, the swupdx Discord, if you are interested in talking about Star Wars Unlimited stuff. Plenty of people to join on the Discord. I'll have a link down below. We're talking strategies, deck building. People are getting excited about all the Legends of the Force previews. I think there's some really cool cards in there. My favorite's Malakili right now because, I just want Java to work, of course. But yeah, all kinds of great stuff. So I'll have a link in the description below next to the link for this deck that I'm about to talk about. So what are we doing today? This is just a fun deck. I just wanted to make something new, something where I was like, okay, let's do some fun card comboing here and see what we can come up with. So what do we got? We've got JankTech. Every little bit helps because the idea with this deck is that we are going to be improving our units as much as possible to make every little swing we do a little bit better. So this is going to be using Saxon and Rio with a green base, the Lair of Grievous, which is a little like wink wink. Of course, we're going to have the Grievous unit in here. Come on, y'all. So what does Saxon do? Saxon says each friendly upgraded unit gets +1/+0. He deploys at 6 resources and says each friendly upgraded unit gets +1/+0 and gains when defeated. You may return an upgrade that was attached to this unit to its owner's hand. Ooh. And then, of course, we've got Rio, our favorite little chipmunk boy. Rio says, as an action, pay 1, exhaust him, attack with a space unit. It gets +1/+0 and gets Saboteur for this attack. Our boy Rio deploys at 5 resources, either as a 3/5 Saboteur with nothing else going on for him, or he turns the vehicle he's on as a pilot into a leader unit. It gains Saboteur. If it's a transport, it gets +1/+0 and +3/+5. That's so much stuff, y'all. Oh my gosh. So what are we trying to do with this deck? Well, we have 29 space units and 25 ground units. A lot of those ground units are pilots. Pilots are upgrades on vehicles. So every time we stick a pilot onto something, we are making it extra strong because Saxon's ability gives upgraded units a little bit more. And if we are attacking with a space unit that has a pilot on it, we can get another buff from Rio's ability. Super fun and cool. And I would love to have somebody correct me on this with Saxon's ability. I don't know if I've ever actually seen the when defeated Saxon ability work in any game that I've played with him, but I want to say that you can get the pilot back when the unit that it's on is defeated. But if I'm interpreting that wrong, please correct me. I think this deck is still good even if that doesn't work, but if that does work, that's real cool, y'all, and I want that to be the case so much. Okay. Anyway, what do we got in this deck? We got an Astromech pilot. It's a 1/3. Not very exciting. It's a pilot. For 2, when played as an upgrade, you may heal 2 damage from a unit. Gets +1/+3. Of course, that's +2/+3 if we're using Saxon, which we always are. So it's a +2/+3. That's awesome. Independent Smuggler. It's a 1/1/3/1 or piloting 1. Attached unit gains raid 1, +1/+1, +2/+1 with Saxon. I'm not going to spell out all the numbers here, but just, anything that's an upgrade is just like all these damages add up. And you're going to see when we get to the space units, I tried to include as many transports as possible to give us options for making Rio extra buff, because remember, when Rio is deployed on to a transport, that transport gets +1/+0. So the transport, if Rio's on a transport, we have Saxon. That means it's +5/+5. That's awesome. That is so much. So, of course, we're going to have as many transports as possible because a +5/+5 saboteur is just, this is too good to pass up. Okay, so indoctrinated conscript. So 1/2, little baby guy, or piloting 1. +2/+2 because of Saxon. Celestin Spacer. Yeah, that's right. I believe in this enough in this deck to put a Celestin Spacer in it. This Lemmy Killmeister looking dude, he is here to be a +2/+1 for 1 on something. Thank you, Saxon. You're making us all a little bit better. So I know a lot of the time, the argument against pilots, oh, it dies to confiscate, it dies to upgrade removal, it dies to the flanking thing fighter, it dies this, dies that. Okay, whatever. Okay, like, we're just going to play pilot after pilot after pilot. There's only so many times this stuff can get removed, y'all. We're just going to keep on doing it. And if all they're doing is playing upgrade removal, then that means our opponents are spending their turn only playing upgrade removal. And we still have the unit that we've been trying to upgrade. So it's like, okay, fine. You used your confiscate early on removing, I don't know, an independent smuggler. Because, I mean, giving something +2/+1 in raid 1, so +3/+1 while attacking, that's a decent thing to use a confiscate on. But then that means you don't have that for Rio. Ooh. So great. Yeah, we got the Vanguard Infantry. It's a 1/2. When defeated, give an experience token to a unit, which again is a +2/+1 because of Saxon. The Academy Graduate, it's a 1/2 Sentinel on the ground, or make something a Sentinel vehicle, give it +2/+0. Like, every little bit helps. Bib Fortuna. Oh my gosh, he's shielded. He's upgraded. He's a 2/3 right out of the gate, and he discounts your events. What a deal. Like, with Saxon, I feel like it actually makes Bib Fortuna, like, you might just want to attack with him if you don't have any units worth playing. Like, heck yeah, I'll take it. Crafty Smuggler, again, it's a 3/2 with a shield because of Saxon. That's pretty good for a turn 1 play. Follower of the Way, of course, it doesn't start with an upgrade. You got to work at getting the upgrade on this guy a little bit more. I mean, obviously, there's things that'll give experience or give shields or anything like that. Or like this one gives experience. This gives a shield. So if we can just get one upgrade on this thing, then, like, let's say an experience, it goes from a 1/3 to a 1/3, and it gets +1/+1 from its ability. So it gets up to a 2/4. It gets +1 from Saxon, 3/4. And it gets the +1/+1 from the experience, 4/5. So yeah, this thing gets real big with just a single experience. That's awesome. Pantoran Starship Thief. Come on, of course we're playing this in Saxon. Oh my gosh. So it's a 2/2. When played, you may pay 3 more resources. If you do, attach this unit as an upgrade to a fighter or transport unit without a pilot on it. Take control of that unit. When this upgrade detaches from a unit, that unit's owner takes control of it. So you steal somebody else's ship, and when it comes to your side, this is an upgrade. So it gets an additional +1/+0. Bruh. Like, yes, please. I love this. This is kind of like, Traitorous, but, a second copy of it in a Twin Suns deck. So, oh yeah, we want this. Cobb Vanth. Come on. Cobb Vanth is just so good. He's a 3/2 for 3, which, unlike with like a Thrawn deck, Cobb Vanth isn't going to let us double dip, but his ability to search the top 10 cards of our deck for a unit costs 2 or less and discard it, and then play that card from your discard pile for free. This particular ability means we can discard a cheap pilot and play it as a pilot for free. Cobb Vanth is the only card that's worded like this, and most of the time it's play a unit from your discard pile for free. Because it says play a card, it means you can play a pilot as a pilot, as an upgrade, which is great for this deck if one of our little weenie guys dies. So yes, please. Cobb Vanth is, excuse me, not if one of our guys dies, if we haven't drawn it yet. So he's good at letting us look through our deck and just get a pilot on something. Yeah, it's General Grievous. Of course Grievous is in here. Like, yeah, are we going to get lightsabers on him? It's unlikely. But I just think it's fun to stick him in here because it's his lair. He's overstated for his cost. And, you know, we have a fine addition in this deck. So if we can play that to stick something on Grievous to buff him a whole lot, I just think it's fun. So, like, you know, we can't put every single card in here because it's the absolute best. I just think that thematically it feels extremely fun to play Grievous in here. But if all we get is a 4/4 for 3, I still think that's great. We got the Interceptor Ace. It's a 2/3 with grit, or a pilot cost 3, gives something +3/+3 and grit. So yes, please. Phase 3 Dark Trooper. It's 3/3 with Sentinel. When combat damage is dealt to this unit, give an experience token to it. So this gets 1 damage. It gets a +2/+1 bonus. Like, yeah, this guy with Gar Saxon, it just makes him a little bit better. Tamrai Vora, she's been popping up in my decks recently. She's a 2/5 for 3, or a pilot for 2. Attached unit gains on attack. Give an enemy unit in this arena -1/-1 for this phase, and +3/+2. Thanks, Gar Saxon. So getting that debuff is great. Like, you can just straight up kill little weenie guys that other people have, or make it easier for you to kill other people's stuff. Gives you some bargaining fodder. I think she's a fun card to play kind of in general, but, you know, being that the whole shtick of this deck is putting pilots on vehicles, then I think she's just a good solid pilot to have on something. And speaking of pilots and vehicles, come on, we have to run this in this deck. Wingman Victor 3. It's either a 4/3 on the ground, or for one, you can pilot him, gives something +2/+1. Thanks, Gar Saxon. And gives an experience token to another unit. So it's like, if you played a cheap vehicle and had, I don't know, Follower of the Way out, give it an experience from Wingman Victor 3 and buff your ship, you've just buffed a lot all at once. Oh my gosh, hell yeah. We got the Bosk pilot. He's either a 4/4 on attack, exhaust the defender and deal the damage to it, or piloting 2, attached unit gains on attack, exhaust the defender and deal the damage to it, +3/+2. Thank you, Gar Saxon. So yeah, like, Bosk is just another cool, fun pilot. He's not like a set the world on fire pilot, but I think his ability is really cool. Like, maybe you've also got Tam debuffing something, so you might be able to pick something off with Bosk. Or if Bosk attacks something that only has 1 health left, well then I guess it's dead. Iden, come on. So Iden is either a 4/3 with a shield, a 5/3 on the ground for 4, which is not bad considering she's got that shield too. Or piloting 3, when she attaches to a unit, give a shield token to that unit. So not only does she give something a +4/+3, but also shields it up. So like 2 layers of upgrades just in case the shield goes. Like, you're still fine. You're still doing double damage. But if you have to play her to the ground, she's good on the ground in this deck too. So, whew, oh yeah, Iden. Lom Pike, yo. So Lom Pike, 4/6 for 4. That's real good. On attack, you may give a shield token to an enemy unit. If you do, give a shield token to a friendly unit. That's awesome. We can do a little bit of bartering here. We can say, enemy unit, which one of you fine people wants a shield in exchange for, I don't know, maybe you do something nice for me. I think there's some good table talk that can result from Lom Pike. And also, you give a shield token to one of your guys. Not only is it shielded, now it's got an extra +1 buff because it's upgraded. And of course, it's got a 5 smuggle, which is good. Like, anytime you can smuggle something in for only 1 more than its actual cost, it's like, you feel like you're getting a deal there. Part of me is always like, oh man, I wish I could put this in Lando. When are they going to give Lando some more smuggling cards, huh? We got Boba Fett, feared bounty hunter. You might know this guy from the Boba Fett precon. He's a 5/4 shielded, 6/4 shielded on the ground. Pretty good. Or for 2, you can play him as a pilot. When played as an upgrade, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. If attached unit is a transport, you're going to see about our transports in a moment, you may deal 2 damage instead. So yeah, that's great. There's a lot of things that Boba Fett can help buff in this deck. But if you play him on the ground, like a 6/4 for 5, not too bad either. We got the Super Commando Squad. Like, yeah, this card is ordinarily not super impressive, but I think in Saxon, 4/4, 5/4, shielded, and it's a sentinel because it's got an upgrade on it. So it's kind of good. Just taking the heat away from your other stuff. Looking kind of threatening because, yeah, if it's upgraded and has that additional buff to it, then yikes. Also, it's a Mandalorian. We have a couple of Mandalorians in this deck. Saxon is a Mandalorian as well. The Mandalorian is a Mandalorian. It's unlikely we're going to play this guy to the ground. He does cost 7 because he's a double aspect card. But he can be useful to be played on the ground too. So you can either play him for 7 on the ground as a 5/6, exhaust up to 2 ground units, or you can just spend 2, play him as a pilot, and exhaust an enemy unit in his arena, giving whatever you play him on a +4/+1. So it's also pretty good. But come on, like, of course we've got the Darksaber in this deck. So I tried to put a few Mandalorians in here so we can take advantage of that. So this is one of those, like, okay, if it somehow lines up for him to get the buff from this, then great. But, you know, we're not going to worry about it too much. Cargo Juggernaut, dude, come on. So it's a 5/6 because it's shielded. When played, if you control another blue unit, heal 4 damage from your base. Well, this comes out at 6 resources. That's the same turn that Saxon deploys. So yeah, that can be real useful. I love the Cargo Juggernaut. I feel like I am always evangelizing about the Cargo Juggernaut in these Twin Suns videos, but the true litmus test is if somebody plays it and everyone at the table is like, oh geez, I don't want to deal with that. Then you're like, okay, cool. It's an effective card. Okay, we got Fen Rao. Dude, Fen Rao, 5/6, Mandalorian. When played, you may play an upgrade from your hand. It costs 2 less. When you play an upgrade on this unit, give an enemy unit -2/-2 for this phase. Nice. So not only could we possibly play a nice cheap upgrade from our hand, but also we can debuff something. We'll make Fen Rao stronger. Boom, 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 boom. Like, of course, you know, being able to play the Darksaber on him is real nice, but that involves us having 8 resources, and we'll see if the game goes that late. But it could be like a pretty good finishing move if the game does go that late and you have the right cards in your hand. And of course, we got Count Dooku, Darth Tyrannus. Dude, there are going to be so many Dooku cards by the time this next set comes out. Oh my goodness. I mean, not all of them are going to be named Dooku, but you know, you get the point. So Dooku is a 6/4 because he's shielded. When played, you may defeat a unit with 4 or less remaining HP. Awesome. It's kind of like a mini takedown effect. So not only is he extra strong because he's got an upgrade built into him, but he can also kill something when he comes in. Hits pretty hard. Just like, yeah, Dooku is awesome in this deck. Okay, and here's where this deck really is trying to shine here. This is all of our 29 space units. We are just going full bore, get out some little guys and upgrade the heck out of them. But we've got some reasonable, like, mid-ish game stuff. But like, this is not a deck that's trying to win by playing the biggest chonkus around and like swinging for 12 damage. This is we're upgrading like every single unit we possibly can and doing all of our damage in these like little bursts. So got a droid starfighter. It's a 1/2 saboteur. Dude, like, we have a saboteur. We stick a pilot on there. It gets big real quick. Okay. So like, even if we have like an astromech pilot on there, that's a +2/+3 because of Saxon's ability. So like, That's a 3/5 that is a saboteur, and it's got a big enough butt that it can take a whole bunch of damage. Yeah, yes, please. And these space units, any space unit, we can think if we have an extra resource, we can attack for an extra +1. So you stick a pilot on this, it's upgraded +1 from Gar. You spend a resource and use Rio. It's another +1. So like these pluses just all kind of add up. And we're hopefully going to be playing enough units and just sticking our upgrades intelligently on each of them that we can hopefully keep getting in this good amount of damage on here. So yeah, Droid Starfighter, awesome because of that saboteur. ILN Fighter, it's a 2/1 for 1. You can attack for 3 damage if you spend a resource with Rio. If you can stick a pilot on it, even more than that. Inferno 4, yeah, we're going to do Inferno 4. You know, it's Twin Suns. We want to look through our giant 80 card deck. And Inferno 4 is going to help us do that. And any upgrades on there are just going to be extra, extra good. Outland TIE Vanguard, dude, we got Gar Saxon in green. Come on. Like Outland TIE Vanguard is going to just give something else, a +2, +1 bonus. That seems pretty good. Then you stick a pilot on this later, swing for even more. Oh my God, yes, please. The Privateer, sick. I don't know, man. It's a +2. It's a 2/2. When you control another yellow unit, this gets shielded. So yes, do not play this unless you have another yellow unit. But, you know, go nuts otherwise. Rampart. Hey, it's Rio's cute little chipmunk ship. It's a 3/3 for 2. It is not ready during the regroup phase unless its power is 4 or more. So we have to stick a shield, an experience, a pilot, whatever. This is not a turn 1 play, but this can very easily be a turn 2 play. So we can put something on it. Like, even if it's just we give it a shield with Moment of Peace, and then it will ready on the next turn. And then we can start thinking about, okay, how do we make this better from here? Yeah, okay. Like, of course, Rickety Quad Jumper is in here. Like, the fact that, number 1, we can use Rio, attack for 2, then reveal the top card of the deck, give an experience token to something else, which again is +2, +1. Put a pilot on here, even better. Like, there's 26 things that aren't units in this deck. So, you know, you're not going to hit on this all the time, but when it does, it's going to be super good. I think it's worth including just because the payoff is so excellent from the Rickety Quad Jumper. TIE Bomber, again, you stick a pilot on here, you are in flavor country. Oh my gosh. So even if it's something like Lemmy here, we stick the Celestin Spacer on this. We play TIE Bomber turn 1, spend 2. Turn 2, we play something like a TIE Fighter. And then we put the Celestin Spacer on this. So now it is a 2/5. And then we use Rio. We attack for 3 damage and do 3 indirect damage. So we basically doubled our damage there. I think it's pretty awesome with this. Black Sun Starfighter. It's a 3/2 Sentinel. You stick a pilot on that. That's really looking like pretty gross. Or you stick a shield on there, which makes it a 4/2 and also a Sentinel. So nobody's going to want to mess with it. Okay, where are we going to do? Contracted Jump Master. Hey, I spoiled this in the last video because I was like, hey, I'm going to use the Contracted Jump Master in the next video. Well, here it is. Wow. Okay, so not only does this card have like some of the coolest artwork in the entire set, it's a 2/4 transport Sentinel. So it's got a decent sized butt. It's something that if Rio or Boba Fett is on, it gets extra good. It just gets anything that has a bigger butt than the amount of damage it does really benefits in this deck because we can just tank even more. So even if we put the Celestin Spacer on it, that would make it a 3/5, a 4, a 4/5 attack with Rio, use Rio's ability, attack for 5 with this. Like all these things just kind of add up with this deck. I think attacking for 5 with this turn 2 thing is pretty good. And considering that it's a sentinel, like hitting back for 4 on something that's attacking you, also pretty good. And let's not discount the fact that Rio gives things Saboteur. Saboteur can be so useful in this format because, like I say in all these videos, Sentinel, 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 Sentinel. Well, that gets past those pesky Sentinels that we don't want to have to deal with. So even if we're in a situation where we have to use Rio's ability because it got killed by, I don't know, one person's Confiscate or Bamboozle, then we can at least attack. We can at least use these other things to attack for a little bit more. So like it's not really the end of the world, although Rio can give us some absolutely huge swings. So again, transport, which helps us out with our things that care about transports, including Rio. HWK 290 Freighter. Look at this. It's an unassuming common from Shadows. It's a 2/5. You put an experience on this, it becomes a 4/6. You use Rio's ability to attack with it. You attack for 5. This is awesome. Like for how inexpensive this is. Yes, please. Yeah, I'm like, I will definitely take that. Yes. Houndstooth. You know, I feel like there's a lot of overlap between this deck and the Moff Gideon deck. Although I think this one implements things a little bit better in terms of who you have to support with your leaders. So the Houndstooth, it's a 4/3. It's a transport. It still has, when attacking an exhausted unit that didn't interplay this phase, this unit deals combat damage before the defender. So obviously if we can stick Bosk on there, we can just roll right over something. But with this one, oh my gosh. Like you stick an upgrade, you stick a pilot on there. It gets so big so fast. If we have sentinels protecting this thing, we can potentially hit for a ton. Like even if this has a shield on it, you can use Rio's ability to attack for 6. That's pretty cool, dudes. Also, transport. So if you stick Rio on it, whew, he gets another +1. Landing shuttle, another transport, another potential +1 if Rio is on it. It's a 2/4. When defeated, you may draw a card. We like drawing cards, so even if this dies, it still benefits us, but sticking a pilot on it just makes it extra good. Like, again, you stick the Celestin Spacer on there. It makes it into a 4/5 and attack for an additional 1 with Rio. Like, Lurking Tie. Oh my gosh. So it's a 2/2. If we put an experience on there, it becomes a 4/3, which means with Raid 2, it attacks for 6. If we use Rio's ability, it attacks for 7. It's so much. It is so much damage. You know, we put a shield on this, and it's just going to be so hard to kill it. Stacking upgrades on the Lurking Tie is awesome because there's not too much that people can do to deal with it. So they can try to kill it with game state. Like I said before, debuffing it, giving it a -2/-2 or something like that. They can waylay it, which, you know, that kind of stinks because we don't want to have to pay for it a second time. But anytime you reduce people's ability to get rid of something, it makes it that much better. And like this is something that can just get out of control real fast if you can start getting some upgrades on it and hitting for 7 damage with Rio. Oh my gosh. So heck yeah, yes please. Omicron Strikecraft, it's a 2/3, it's a transport, it's Sentinel. So again, the things that care about transports, like Rio, like Boba Fett, boom, awesome. We love this. So like if you have to deploy Rio onto this, again, it's a 2/3. You put Rio on there, it becomes a 2/3, a 3/3 because it's a transport, a 4/3 because of Gar Saxon, 7/8. You put Rio on that, it is a 7/8. For this becomes a 7/8. Are you kidding me? That's awesome. Like, oh my gosh, dudes. Sanctioner Shuttle. Of course, yes, yes. I put the Sanctioner Shuttle on another deck. Look, this card is awesome. Okay. It's 2/3. Coordinate when played. Captures an enemy non-leader that costs 3 or less. Capture is awesome in this format. Yes, please let me keep capturing people's things. Let me capture something that some other Rio Gar Saxon player stacked their upgrades and was getting all like, oh, I can hit real big with this ship. And you're like, I'll take that. Also, same with the other one. Like, it's a 2/3, which turns into, what was that? Wait, what was a 2/3 again? A 7/8 with Rio on it. It's pretty good. It's really, really good. So yeah, we even a humble 2/3 can potentially get real out of hand in this. 7th Fleet Defender, 3/2 with a shield, making it a 4/2, attacking for 5 as a saboteur with Rio's ability. Stolen AT Hauler. Oh my gosh, I love this card. So it is a 4/5. It's a transport. When defeated, choose an opponent. For this phase, they may play this unit from its owner's discard pile for free, which gives an extra spice to our Twin Suns game. But, like, come on, it is an extremely powerful unit for how undercosted it is. And it is a 4/5 transport. So we'll do the math here. A 4/5 transport plus 1 is 5, plus 1 from Gar Saxon is 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's a 9/10 if you stick Rio on it. And considering that Rio deploys so early on, you could potentially bring it out with, on your 4 resource turn, spend 1 more resource to attack big with something else for Rio, and then stick him on this and just 9 damage and saboteur. Again, Rio is one of those leaders that can be kind of fragile because of the way upgrade removal works. So either we just play a whole lot of stuff that encourages people to remove it and remove our upgrades early on, or we strategically deploy Rio exactly when we need him and just bam, wrecking ball. Cloaked Star Viper. It's a 3/2. It gets 2 shields on it, so it's a 4/2 with 2 shields on it. I wish this thing was a transport, but you know what? Being that it's a double shielded thing that can hit for 4, we can do some serious damage to other people's stuff with this. So, you know, I'm all here. I'm all here for that. Razor Crest. Oh, boy, howdy. Okay, so it is a 3/5. It's a Mandalorian. All right. This thing benefits from the Darksaber. I mean, obviously, you can't stick the Darksaber on it, but it can get experience from the Darksaber. How cool is that? When a pilot attaches to this unit, you may return a non-leader unit that costs 2 or less, or an exhausted non-leader unit that costs 4 or less to its owner's hand. So not only do you get to bounce stuff, you also get the benefit of what the pilot does, and you get the buff from Gar Saxon, and you can attack with it with Rio on the next turn for, oh my gosh, all these things. Like I said, every little bit helps. Shuttle ST-149. It's a 3/4 with a shield, a 4/4. When played and when defeated, you may take control of a token upgrade on a unit and attach it to a different eligible unit. You take someone else's shield, you take someone else's experience, you stick it on one of your guys, it gets the +1/+0 buff from Gar Saxon. Ugh, oh my gosh, like this is like a free make one of your guys better and debuff one of somebody else's units at the same time. Just so cool. I think this is such a neat include in this deck. We got the Strafing Gunship. Okay, so it's a 3/4. It can attack units in the ground arena. While this unit is attacking a ground unit, the defender gets -2, -0. This card is in here because we have so many space units. We would like to be able to remove them a little bit better, so maybe we will. Well, we want to stick a pilot on here, obviously. Like, I think one of the best case scenario for this one is Bosk, because Bosk damages it before it can even do anything. And then we can just finish it off otherwise. So you stick Bosk on there, which gives it +3, +2, and deals a damage to it. And this debuffs something. So we're looking at a 6/6 that gives something a -2. So you can actually give it with Rio. You could make it attack for 7 and saboteur. So if you've got like a sentinel giving you trouble on the ground, you can just destroy that. If you've got a stupid village protectors, this is just going to eat it for lunch. Oh my gosh. So there's some good uses for the strafing gunship in this deck. I think it's just kind of like insurance to make sure you can take care of ground stuff. The Corellian Freighter. Okay, so this is kind of an unassuming card, but as a 4/4 transport, that's a sentinel. I have played a game before during a draft where Rio got deployed onto this thing. So it's a 4/4. It's a transport. So it becomes a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A 9/9. I think it's a 9/9 saboteur sentinel. What do you even do? Like, what do you even do, my dudes? Like, it just gets so honkin' big. Like, this isn't a great card in a lot of situations. I think in this deck, this is awesome. And this is definitely like one of those cards. If I see this in my hand, when I'm getting close to thinking about when do I deploy Rio, what do I want to put him on, this is going to be in the running, honestly. Like, it is just like that 4/4 stat line getting buffed so much with Rio and Saxon, and making us this giant unstoppable chonkus for people to get through that we can hit anything with. This is a good card. This is just a good card for Rio. Oh, the Corvus. Oh, the Corvus. It's a 4/5. It's got Restore 2. When played, you may attach a friendly pilot unit or upgrade to this unit. Defeat all upgrades in the pilot, remove all damage from it. So, obviously, the Corvus, if we do something like we play Iden to the ground, attack with her the next turn, she does 5 damage because she has a shield on her, well then we can play the Corvus. Corvus will be like, hey, Iden, why don't you hop on board, buddy? And then Iden will get onto here. She'll buff it, whatever her buff is, an extra +1 from Saxon. She'll give it a shield. It's like, and if she was damaged, well, guess what? She's not damaged anymore. Now she's just piloting the Corvus, being cool. I wish this was a transport, but if you get in a situation where, say, maybe like somebody killed all your ships and you're just like, oh, okay, fine, I'll just put Rio on the ground, I'll hit with him a little bit, whatever. And you play the Corvus the next turn. Corvus is like, hey Rio, why don't you get on me, buddy? So it's like, it kind of like, if you have a pilot leader that for some reason has to be on the ground, this can be like a good, like, give them a little bit give a lease on life, a new lease on life to them. Confuse your opponents. Some people will be like, oh, you're going to play the Corvus, aren't you? And you're going to be like, what are you going to do about it? Devastating Gunship. So it's 3/5 with grit. When played, defeat an enemy unit with 2 or less remaining HP. It's also a transport. So again, 3/5. We stick Rio on this thing. So 4/5. 5/5 because of Saxon. 8/10. 8/10 Saboteur with grit. If something has 10 health and also has grit, that can do so much damage. Oh my goodness. So, like, it's not the worst thing to think about putting Rio on. Oh my goodness. Okay, Survivor's Gauntlet. It's a Mandalorian chip. It can get experience from someone wielding the Darksaber. It's a 4/6. When played or on attack, you may attach an upgrade on a unit to another eligible unit controlled by the same player. So maybe we have the Cloaked Star Viper with its 2 shields. We play this. We take one of the shields, stick it onto someone else, buff it. We get an experience from something that we think is likely going to die. And we're just like, okay, fine. We'll take that experience and put it on someone else. We can swap pilots onto other things. Like, how cool is that? And like, here's the other neat thing. Like, if we use this on Iden, come on, Iden, where are you? Iden, when this upgrade attaches to a unit, give a shield token to that unit. And this just says, you may attach an upgrade on a unit to another eligible unit controlled by the same player. That's like free shield, my dudes. Like, that is so cool. And like, plus you'll get the buff from an upgrade being on something else. Like, oh, it's so cool. This is such a cool card in this deck. Techno Union Transport. This is another one of those cards. It's like, you get it in a draft. You're like, okay, I can use this in a draft. In this deck, holy moly, it's a transport. It is a 4/6 shielded. So it already has an upgrade when it comes on. So it's a 5/6. But, you know, you deploy Rio on it. Again, we're going to do our Rio math. So 4/6. 5/6 because it's a transport. 6/6 because of Saxon. 9/11. It is a 9/11, y'all. Like, that thing is freaking scary with Rio on it. Like, come on. And it would have a shield. Like, wow. So, yeah, not the worst thing in the world. Got the Ewing Lantern. Okay, like, this is Saxon. Of course, we got to have the Ewing Lantern. So it's a 2/2. When played, give 3 experience tokens to it. So it is a 6/5. When it completes an attack and survives, you may attach an upgrade on this unit to another eligible friendly vehicle unit. So this is one, if we can play this on 5 resources and have other ships in play, in theory, we can deploy Rio onto it. So, oh my gosh, again, the math. So it's a 2/2 with 3 experience on it. So that makes it a 5/5. We put Rio on there, 6/5. Saxon, 7/5. 10/10. So it would be a 10/10. You swing with it. Then you take Rio off of it because of its ability, attach him to something else that you already have in play, and then attack with him on that unit instead. It's just awful. It's just awful. It's so much damage. It is just so cool just being able to shuffle him all around. But you can do this with other pilots too. Like, I mean, again, you stick Iden on there, she'll just be like doling out shields like they're candy. You stick Tamrai Vora on there, she'll be debuffing guys left and right. Just like so cool. It is such a cool unit to have in an upgrade heavy deck. In spite of it being like a 2/2, it can get out of hand real quick. So, geez, if somebody bamboozles this thing, it can be real sad. Like, I'm sad just thinking about this being bamboozled. All right, and then the Clan Saxon Gauntlet. It's a Mandalorian ship. Oh my gosh, so many Mandalorians. It's also a transport. It's a Mandalorian and a transport and a Sentinel. And when it's attacked, you may give an experience token to a unit before damage is dealt. Because yes, attack is on attack before damage is dealt. So this is another one of those cards that, like, it's not the worst to think about putting Rio on it. Okay, this is our last Rio math, so bear with me. So it's a 4/5. It's a Sentinel. It's a transport. You stick Rio on there. 4/5. 5/5. 6/5 because of Saxon. 7, 8, 9. It's a 9/10 Sentinel. Saboteur. And when it's attacked, it can give an experience token to something, including itself. Like, that is just so much stuff. But being able to hand out upgrades around, it's just, there's a lot going on. So it's like any one of these units, they're not particularly impressive by themselves, but when you consider the explosiveness of, well, we've got a whole ton of pilots that we can stick on things that just like everything is just like, this is a little better, this is a little better, this is a little better. Every little bit helps. We are just going to continue to make everything harder to deal with. They can't remove it all, y'all. They're not going to remove it all. We're not going to let them. Okay, we got 17 events. Yo, of course, yeah, a fine edition. Yeah, we teased this one earlier. If an enemy unit was defeated this phase, play an upgrade from your hand or from any player's discard pile, ignoring its aspect penalty. It has been confirmed by the devs that you can use this for pilots, which is awesome. You can also use this for, I don't know, a friggin' dark saber. You can use it for a hot shot blaster. There's so many fun, cool things that you could use this on. Maybe a Death Star plans is in the discard pile, huh? Like, that's just like free money. I think this is a really fun card in this format, but it directly synergizes with this deck because it gets upgrades onto our stuff from anyone's discards. So we have a lot of fun options Like maybe we just steal somebody's Luke Skywalker pilot. Maybe we take somebody's Poe Dameron green unit that actually that's not a good one because he only gets his ability when he's played as a unit. But you get what I'm saying. Like there's so many ways of using this in fun ways. It seems like an especially jerk move to do it to a Luke Skywalker pilot, because then if Luke dies, then you can turn him into a ground unit of yours and use him again before finally giving it back to the other person. That's cool and fun. Covert Strength. Heal 2 damage from a unit. Give an experience token to it. Smuggle it in for 3. Great. We love this. This is maybe one you might just keep in your hand for when the time is right. This is such a good card for this deck because of, again, just extra damage, extra good stuff from Saxon. I have you now. Yeah, this was in the Moff Gideon deck. It's in this one too. Attack with a vehicle unit. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to it during this attack. Yeah, we're going to have some Chonkus units. We want to use them to take out other people's stuff without any consequences of our own. So, yeah, if we can attack into something and just completely kill something else, great. Love that. You know, bonus points if you do the James Earl Jones, I have you now when this happens. Moment of Peace. Yeah, give a shield token to something, which +1/+0. Thanks, Saxon. Again, recruit. We're running a green deck. We're going to have recruit in here. We want to search through our stuff, get a unit, reveal it, and draw it. And since we're getting units, we can pull out a unit that has piloting so we can play it as an upgrade to one of our ships. Oh my gosh, it's genius. Oh, thanks all for sticking with me here. Okay. Asteroid Sanctuary. Exhaust an enemy unit. Give a shield token to a friendly unit that costs 3 or less. So this does a lot. So exhaust. Shield token to one of our cheapo units, which will then give it the +1/+0 from Saxon. Yo, let's go. Eject. Okay, so eject. I really like this card. Detach a pilot upgrade, move it to the ground arena as a unit, and exhaust it, draw a card. So if you've got like a Corvus play coming up, then I don't know, maybe if you have a pilot that does, maybe Iden is useful to just, okay, you're like, okay, cool, Iden, like, you know what, that's actually, I'm thinking about it. Forget I said that about Iden. I just mathed my way through it in my head. I'm like, no, that doesn't actually do anything special. But what it does do, it makes somebody's pilot leader a little bit less effective. But also, like, maybe we just need a little bit extra from one of our pilots. Maybe we think the ship that they're on is about to die. Well, at least we can get something else from them in a later turn. So it's just fun in a deck with so many pilots, just saying, okay, fine, maybe you can just be a ground unit for now, and we'll see what happens if you have to abandon ship. I think it just gives you a little bit more flexibility in this. And plus, if it's like the last card you play in a phase, then okay, fine. Pilot's going to be ready to punch someone down on the ground while they're still wearing their flight suit. Jump to Lightspeed. Yo, we got to have Jump to Lightspeed. Return a friendly space unit and any number of non-leader upgrades on it to its owner's hands. The next time you play a copy of that unit this phase, you may play it for free. So basically this is, we have a ship with a bunch of pilots on it. Or, sorry, we have a ship with a pilot on it. We have done serious damage to it. We just put it back in our hand. We get our pilot back. We get to play the ship again for free. And then if the pilot has like a fun ETB effect, like give a shield to something, heal something, then we get to do that again. We do have to pay for the pilot a second time, but this just gives us a little bit more safety with, okay, so we can use our vehicles for removal purposes, or if someone else crashed into them because they thought someone else could take care of it on a later turn, well then, boom, it's coming back. Everything's coming back. And it's going to come out again, and y'all are going to hate it. Or, you know, maybe they bamboozled our U-Wing lander. And we're like, well, dang, dude. Now it's just a little wimpy 2-2. Well, guess what? Oh, yeah? Sorry, it wasn't wah, as the cat seems to think it was. It was, we're returning back to our hand. We're getting those upgrades right back on it. life's going to be great again. And you bammed your last boozle. No good to me dead. It's like, come on, you're playing villain yellow. This is such a good card to keep people from doing stuff. And remember, we want those like explosive swings. We want to prevent people from being able to deal with our guys. So yeah, just exhausting something at the right time. So good. Prepare for takeoff. Okay. Vehicles are critical in this deck. So we need to have as many of them as possible. So being able to sort through a deck and get more, super good. Because in order to put pilots on vehicles, we need vehicles, y'all. So yeah, of course this. Evidence the crime. I'm always looking for an excuse to put this in a deck. This is the deck. This is the deck for it. Take control of an upgrade that costs 3 or less and attach it to an eligible unit of your choice. Of course, this is hard with pilots because an upgrade that costs 3 or less refers not to their piloting cost, but to the cost that the unit costs to play as a unit. So you can't take as many pilots as you might like with this, but still, you know, maybe you can steal a lightsaber, give it to Grievous, and he'll be super happy about it. Those all cost 3 or less. With this deck, it hurts less if you're just like, okay, fine, I'll just steal an experience. It's fine, whatever. Because at least you're getting the extra buff from Saxon. But, like, you know, if you can make this work to steal, I don't know, a Death Star plans, you've essentially paid for, you paid for a free unit that turn. Plus, you know, Death Star plans buffs your guy +1/+0. It's not the worst thing. There's a lot of flexibility with this card in this deck. And not only does it take something from someone else and give it to you, it gives you that extra buff, which all these buffs are additive. Power of the Dark Side, you know, just classic removal. We love Power of the Dark Side in a blue deck. Yes, please. This can also defeat leaders. Who doesn't love that? Take captive, blah, 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 blah. Take captive. Capture is good. Yes, I know. I keep saying it. I still think it's true. We're still running capture and Twin Suns. You got 2 people that want something captured and 1 person that doesn't out of the people that you are trying to beat. So I'd say those odds are in favor of you. And in this deck, we're turning our units into big old chonkuses. So yeah, for sure, we want to take things captive because it's going to be real tough to deal with them. Waylay, return a non-leader unit to owner's hand. Great. We don't want this card played on us, but man, waylaying the right thing at the right time is so good for this deck. Just, you know, we gotta take out threats, you know. Overwhelming Barrage, we got green. Of course we're playing Overwhelming Barrage. We have something huge like a roided up Rio piloted unit. Like we could be doing 10 or more damage spread across all these other things. That's not chump change, y'all. That ain't nothing. Turbo Laser Salvo. Okay, so we got a couple of these BS legendary cards that I just like, I've been wanting to work. I think in this deck, this could work. Because, man, you have a Rio piloted ship do 10 damage to everything in an arena. That's basically like a board wipe. Like we use this probably to wipe ground because we're going to be good at controlling space with our big Chonkus upgraded units, as long as, you know, people don't try to get too cute and exhaust them. So yeah, I think this is a fun one because this is totally a card that says you have a big space Chonkus, you use it to kill everything. Like, hell yeah. Nebula Ignition. Man, this was one of those cards. I feel like I pulled so many copies of this card. I have not played it. If it's going to get played in anything, it's going to get played in this deck. It costs 9. We might not get there. Maybe we'll have some bizarro game where we get to 9 resources. And if we do, defeat each unit that isn't upgraded. Whatever. Come at me, bro. Like, my units are going to be fine. Your units can all die. Yes. Are there probably better cards to play? Well, yeah, but this card is not going to get played in any other deck other than this one. Maybe a Twin Suns deck with Poe. But, you know, Poe tries to win early, so I still think this might be the one. Nobody's going to expect it. That's the point. So hopefully I can prove all the haters of Nebula Ignition wrong. Be like, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Okay, we got some upgrades. We got the Hotshot Deal 44. Of course, we got this. I mean, it's Yeah, it's red, but it's got yellow smuggle. We attached to a non-vehicle. So, maybe one of our pilots got ejected. It's looking a little sad. And then, they had a hotshot blaster. Oh my gosh. You smuggle it in, you get to attack with the attached unit. It gives it a +3/+0. Thanks, Saxon. So yeah, come on. We got to run this card. It's awesome. The old smuggling compartment. So this does a lot in this deck. So this is not a pilot. So we can put a pilot on to whatever vehicle we're upgrading. It gains on attack, ready a resource, which is great because Rio uses a resource to use his leader ability on buffing guys and attacking, giving them saboteur. And it gives something +2/+1, essentially, because of Saxon. So, yeah, I think this card is fantastic in a vehicle-based, upgrade-heavy deck. And the fact that it just makes it a little bit easier for us to play things because of readying a resource is just mwah. Snapshot reflexes. Yeah, of course we got snapshot reflexes. You can play this on ground units. You can play this on space units. When played, you may attack with attached unit. It gives it a +1/+1, +2/+1. You stick that on a follower of the way. You are eating real good. Brutal traditions. Yeah, I love this card. Okay, so action. If an enemy unit was defeated this phase, play this upgrade from your discard pile, paying its cost, which is 2. Enemy units are likely going to be defeated each phase. We're playing Twin Suns. There's a lot of units. And this is an upgrade that will give something essentially a +2/+2. We can put it on space units. We can put it on ground units. We can reuse it again and again and again and again. Awesome. Yeah, Death Star plans. Of course, we got Death Star plans in here. When attached unit is attacked, the attacking player takes control of this upgrade, attaches it to a unit they control. Attached unit gains the first unit you play each round, costs 2 less. That's free units, Unfortunately, I don't think you can use this for piloting. I'll have to look that up. This is another, piloting stuff gets weird, So if anybody has the answer for that, I'd love to know. So we got questions about Saxon's Saxon's deployed when defeated, and also Death Star plans with piloting. I'll try to look these up, but if anyone has any answers, please put them down in the comments because it could make this deck extra exciting. Legal authority. If you have green and you have Saxon, you run legal authority. I think even legal authority naysayers want it in Saxon with green. Attaches to a friendly unit. When played, attached unit captures an enemy non-leader unit with less power than it. But because we're in Saxon, this is normally +0/+1. It's a +1/+2, which bumps it up a little bit higher. Every little bit helps and makes it that much easier to capture something because you're punching above your weight class, essentially. I love this card so much. Again, it's more capture. This is capture that doesn't care what arena you're in. You're just like, I got this big chunk of space unit. It just got bigger and chunkier. And it's got the legal authority to get this thing out of here. I love this card so much. Super heavy ion cannon. This is one of my pet cards. It's another one of those JTL cards that I think in a draft could really wreck everything. In Premier, maybe not so much. I think in this deck, because there are a ton of transports, we can put this on so many different ships. It's a +0/+3, +1/+3 essentially. Attached unit gains on attack. You may exhaust a non-leader unit the defending player controls. If you do, deal indirect damage equal to its power to that player. So if you can exhaust a big old chonkus, roided up, piloted up, whatever, then you can potentially do a lot of damage. If you're playing against someone that has the Poe Dameron leader, well, guess what? Poe doesn't make things into a leader unit when he's piloting them. So you can just say, Poe, we're not dealing with your shenanigans. Super heavy ion cannon. We can start getting transports out on turn 2 in this deck. So, yes, please. We got the Darksaber. Yes. Attached to a non-vehicle unit. While playing this upgrade on a Mandalorian unit, ignore its aspect penalty. That doesn't really matter for us. We're already playing green. Attached unit gains on attack. Give an experience token to each other friendly Mandalorian unit. So we've got a smattering of them. So if we stick this on Gar Saxon, then we can make the Razor Crest better. We can make the Clan Saxon Gauntlet better. There's just a whole bunch of things that work great in this deck. All right, and then lastly, we got Traitorous. Of course there's Traitorous. It's Gar Saxon green. Traitorous says, when this upgrade becomes attached to a non-leader unit that costs 3 or less, take control of that unit. When this upgrade becomes unattached from a unit, that unit's owner takes control of it. Since it then becomes your unit, then Traitorous gives you a +1/+0. Oh my gosh, I just love this with Gar Saxon so much. Like, of course, we're going to play this in this deck. And that is it, y'all. So what do you think? I think that there's some fun stuff with this. I can't wait to use it. I think that the idea of just saying we're going to go a little bit lighter with ground. We've got some events that can deal with ground. And in the meantime, we are just going to be super big and heavy in space. I think this is going to be a real fun one to play. I've tested it out a little and it seems potentially pretty good. There is one card that I feel like it could have gone in here, and that is Commission, because it lets us search for Bounty Hunter, which is some of our pilots, items, which are, you know, a lot of the things that a lot of our actual upgrades, or transports, which we have many transports. I'm pretty sure this made it in as I was assembling the deck before I modified this, but definitely this card should be in this deck. I would say we can get rid of probably Recruit in favor of Commission, because I think Commission does sort of what we want Recruit to do, but kind of a little bit better. So I think that would be my one last minute change with this. And yeah, like there's some cards that aren't exactly like the perfect card in this deck, but I think overall it's fun. It's got some really cool synergies. Yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts. I think this is going to be the one that I play when I record a Twin Suns game pretty soon. And I'm interested to see how it does against other people. Of course, if they're all playing nothing but upgrade hate, I'm going to be like, oh no, oh no, not my poor little upgrade deck. But I'm pretty excited about that anyway. So yeah, what have we got coming up? Like I said, I'm going to be recording some Twin Suns. I would very much like to get some more decks done in the how to make a Twin Suns deck on a budget if you're a beginner and all you have is the starter set decks kind of thing. I did one sort of on Ahsoka's deck where I was just doing 50 card decks, so it would be fun to expand that. I think somebody asked about me doing that pretty like soon after I made that video. That might be something I expand upon once LOF comes out, but I don't know, that's still a ways away. So, but definitely want to do the Vader and Luke set 1 decks, because I think those have the potential to be pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, just stay tuned. We're going to be doing more fun stuff. And yeah, I can't wait to do this again. So until then, see y'all later.